With us now, we have Jean-Paul Deprins, who is the CEO of Better Globe Forestry, who was also my speaking partner in the May event. And I am thrilled to have you back with us here in Sweden. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Helena, and good evening to the three of you that I see and the many probably that I don't see. It is always a pleasure to join you, although it is virtual, but the idea is very positive. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us. I am planning on speaking with you about half an hour. But I have a sheet here filled with questions. I could probably spend like 3 hours with you, but I promise I won't. But just to let everybody know, you are calling in from Kenya, right?
That is correct.
That is correct. And I'm sitting here in Malmö. So I actually re-listened to the May event because that recording is available. And I picked up on a few things where I thought, oh, I'd want to make sure that I follow up on these things because there were things that I found interesting. And one of them is actually a passion of mine, and that is about learning. When we spoke in May, it became very apparent that Better Globe Forestry is a learning organization that has a large focus on learning. And so I would like to ask you, what have you learned yourself or Better Globe Forestry since we last talked in May?
Well, if I can use a cliche, I would say I have learned that I know nothing, in the sense that we are learning every day, every day. This company and this tree planting venture is very, very dynamic. As you know, we have a very, very, very big program of training. We train internally our people, we train the farmers, we train the communities. We have a lot of training. And what I have learned is that you can never relax. You can never assume that you know something. Based on your experience, you really have to be very sharp in this business. It looks like a very slow business. We are not selling computers or hardware that is maybe obsolete tomorrow. It's about trees, but something always is different. It might be the weather, it might be the people, it might be the stuff itself that changes. It is something that you really cannot relax, and you always have to be on top of things. If I may say, that is what I've learned.
Excellent. I think that's a very important lesson to learn, actually. It's still 2020 and there's still a global pandemic. We have coronavirus affecting everything and everyone in some sense. Last time you spoke, or we spoke, you said that the plan for 2020 was to plant 688,000 trees this year, 200,000 of those at the Moringa plantation. Is that still the target, or has Corona, for instance, affected these numbers?
No, it is still the target. We still have a considerable amount of trees to plant in the second rain season that is coming the last week of October and the whole of November, going a bit further in December for the coast. And we are actually we have been distributed in Uganda. We are still on track, Elena. It is not so that Corona has stopped us in our ventures. Corona in Kenya, first of all, it is there, of course, but it's not that severe like in Europe. It is for one reason or another that people cannot explain very clearly. It is not there that much. Then also Kenya has reacted very, very decisively, and they probably have reduced a lot of things. And the corona, we have slowed down our visits to sites. That was a consequence, but it has not slowed us down in our daily activity. It has slowed us down in our monitoring and evaluation, because it's important, monitoring and evaluation. Of course, it is important. And because, like I just say, it's dynamic, so you have to be on top of things and you have to follow. But you see, we didn't wait until Corona was there to invest in communication means, to have already communication with the sites, via mobile and via devices. We already had a back office that is taking care of a lot of things. So we just continue to build on the tools that we already have. We were not really surprised in that sense. Let's say it like that.
Excellent. I have a question, and I don't know that you will be able to answer it, actually. I'm wondering, I mean, Scandinavia, especially Sweden, has been hit quite severely by corona, at least according to many people, if you put it that way. Is it something that you've seen the effect of in the actual clients buying trees? You know, is it like, oops, stuff is happening, we'd better buy more trees to help, you know? Or is it, oops, stuff is happening, I need to turn down the amount of money I spend on savings, because maybe, maybe I'm getting out of work, or I can't get my salary and stuff?
Elena, very, very astonishingly, the amount of money that we receive from Better Globe AS, or so from the members through Better Globe AS, has maybe diminished by maximum 5%. So the impact of Corona has been really minimum, I have to say. So people continue to trust us and continue to believe in that venture. I think that actually Corona might be an eye-opener for many people, that there are other things in life than the way we were living before.
Yeah, I think you're quite right. That might very well be one of the reasons for that. But it makes me happy to hear that it hasn't affected the amount of trees that you sort of get bought. Last time we spoke about the plans for the sawmill and the new nursery and the in vitro lab. Is there any news about that? Any information?
Well, same thing. We need to have the land to have it. It really looks like that it is really imminent. But we did not wait until the land to already do a lot of things. First of all, we have already starting inquiring what are the legal requirements, which kind of permits do you need, what is necessary to get a movement permit, all the things that are necessary that are invisible but that are there, that can be an obstacle. So that's the first thing. Secondly, as you know, we have this collaboration with the University of Ghent and with the Kenya Forestry Research Institute, which is going very, very strong. We have the protocol, it is completely okay. We have now ventured in a further study on extracting chemicals from the bark and from other parts of the trees that can be used as a pesticide. And all this is actually related to the in vitro. The in vitro, I'm not too worried. The moment the land is there, the plans are there, it is just a matter to set it up. It's not really a complicated thing to set up. The complication is the management of the whole thing. So I'm well, you can never swear, but I'm quite confident that next year that will be finally off the ground.
Excellent.
Actually,
That makes me happy to hear.
yeah, we need to have it up because we cannot continue the production only based on the traditional ways. We have in that respect also a quite big territory that we have to cover in matter of distribution and things like this. So we have also taken other measures. We have now started, of course, to get the farmers in groups. Some of these groups now they are trained to be nurseries themselves. So meaning we train them, they produce the trees, and we buy them from them, at, of course, as a subsidized price. We buy them from them to plant them with them. So that is a completely new dynamic. Well, but even that will not cover our needs. So we need this in vitro multiplication facility.
Yes, but it's a good idea to make sort of, it's not a microbrewery, it's a micro nursery that you have sort of outsourced in the different places. Excellent. So last time we spoke about this new cash crop, about the Moringa tree. I would like to know, how is the partner farmers receiving sort of the Moringa tree? Is it like open arms, or is it, I'm a little bit suspicious?
Well, you see, the Moringa tree, we are still a little bit puzzled. We have started both in Nyongoro and in Dokolo, in Uganda. We planted some trees. In Nyongoro, we plant them as a tree, meaning that it grows, and in Uganda, we will plant it as a crop, meaning it's kept down and things like this. The farmers see that, they're of course interested, but I think that we have to be very sure of ourselves when we talk to the farmers. And that is something that we only can learn by making some mistakes ourselves. But I'm quite certain that when they see that a crop is working and it is growing and it can make money, that they will come.
Excellent. So is Dokolo also a plantation?
Dokolo, we have a huge nursery, but there we only work with farmers. Huh? We only have contract farmers in Dokolo.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, I mean, how will it work? You know, when I buy a tree, I know that, or rather, when I buy a donation package, which is what I do, there's a tree for me, and then there's a tree for a partner farmer. Will it sort of work the same way with a Moringa tree? Will it be that it's like I buy a Moringa tree and then I give one away, or it will be a sort of a different thing?
No, there is no reason to change systems. The setup is 50-50. We can continue like this. There is no problem.
Excellent. That makes me happy to hear. So,
because for us, you see, the contract is electronic anyway, and when the agroforestry agent goes to the farmer, the only thing is done is going to scroll down and point the tree. So it is just a matter to add the Moringa. It's not a problem.
Excellent. You're so digital and modern. I like that. So the market for the crop, the Moringa, you know, what you will be getting from, what you will be harvesting from the Moringa, is that a local market, or is it an export market only, or is it both?
No. That is really an export market, Helena. That has no chance to become a big market locally. Maybe a few expatriates that take it as a supplement, but that is not a market here. That is really export.
It's an export market. Good. Is this something that I mean, the Mokau tree is a local tree and a well-known local tree, I've understood. Is Moringa also a well-known local tree?
Oh, in Uganda, it is really well known.
So why is it well known?
Oh, because it has been planted since many, many years. A lot of research has been done. It has some medicinal properties that are known, but it has never been marketed in a big scale. Let's say it like that.
Excellent. So you said that on the plantations you will grow them as big trees, right? So is this then mainly at the Nyongoro plantation? This will be?
That will be Nyongoro. Yeah.
That will be Nyongoro. Okay. So what do you harvest from those?
Well, you can harvest the pods, for example, the kind of fruits. There is always something to harvest in a tree. We need also to find out a little bit. But if you really want to go big scale for the leaves, you have to do it in an agricultural way.
And leaves will be the main cash crop from the crops that you will be doing. That's what you're doing at Dokolo?
That's correct.
Mm.
Yeah.
Interesting. So when it comes to the Kenyan partner farmers, then will they also be able to plant the moringa as a cash crop?
Not really. It's not really our intention. The intention is really to focus on Uganda for the moringa.
And why is that?
Well, because the climate is much better in Uganda. You know, the azals, arid and semi-arid land of Uganda, you cannot compare them with the arid and semi-arid land in Kenya. Kenya is half a desert compared to Uganda. So ecologically, it will not work in Kenya, not in that part. Maybe at the coast there, because the climate is a bit different, but to go big scale, it's better Uganda.
Okay. But so it's like I'm an ignorant Swede. And we have quite little Assal land, I think. But so these semi-desert lands, when we say that this is that is the type of land also in Uganda, does that mean that the land in Uganda also is it is hard land to farm on?
No, just the contrary. Uganda is green. It's not for nothing they call it the pearl of Africa. It is green, and even where they call it azal because it compared to high rain potential, but that azal it kind of rains the whole year intermittently. So it's a completely other climate. For example, the trees we are planting in Uganda, also the giant lira, well, it grows faster than the muka because of the rainfall that is there. It is really different.
Excellent. Well, interesting.
Well,
so
I hope that in one of the next trip, maybe we'll try to organize something with Uganda.
That would be really interesting. Yeah. So when it comes to the partner farmers, when we spoke last time, you gave me numbers from December 31st of 2019, where you had 6,466 partner farmers in Kenya, and you had 10,285 partner farmers in Uganda.
Yeah.
And in May, you said that you would not focus on trying to get many more partner farmers at the moment, but rather making sure that the ones you have really learn about the trees that they're to plant and about tending to them and stuff like that. Is that still the same strategy?
It's still the same strategy, and one of the things we do with the farmers is now organize them in groups. So actually, we have created a dynamic where maybe, let's say, 25 farmers come together, form a group with a name and everything, Better Globe Group. We give them a certificate with a nice frame. And the idea is they are going to plant the muka, they are going to support each other, they are going to be trained to do this, and they are trained. The farmers, the groups that do really well, and we will help them to become a good group, we will make them an official group, because there is a structure in Kenya, a group structure, where that is official, legal. So we will help them with that, so that we are going to benefit from the dynamics. And that is something that actually comes very much together with the microfinance, because the microfinance, and without talking to each other, they did exactly the same. They slowed down. They don't make more customers than the one they have. Well, of course they do, but not pushing, because they have reorganized, and they came to the same conclusion that if you really want to have maximum effect in the community, you have to group farmers together and give it a structure. So we are working on that. What we also do is setting up the strategy, because you cannot continue to expand in every direction. When we will start working with the farmers, we will probably, no, not probably, certainly go back to the areas where we have already been and try to find the farmers that are not Better Globe partners yet, so that in 20 years or in less years, when we harvest, we don't have to go 2-3 times at a high cost to the same place, so that we kind of fill the place with trees. All this is being considered now, and that's what we are working at.
Very, very interesting. And it actually strikes me, I started off by sort of lauding you for being such a learning organization, and it makes me happy to hear that you are, in a sense, a fractal organization. The big organization is a learning organization, and now you're also helping to set up these small groups, which will also be learning organizations, you can say. So
Absolutely.
you take what works down here and you make it small, and then you take what works there and you will learn from it as well. So
it's correct. It's an elevator. It goes up and down.
Yes, it is. It goes both ways, So one of the things that I've been wondering, because I was down in Kenya and I met you there in June of 2019 together with Isan Jakob. And I was thinking about, and it made a huge impact on me to see how the around the Kiambere plantation, for instance, how this little community has grown from this, and how it's really, it's starting to turn financial wheels. The economy is growing and stuff. And here in Sweden, it's common that every year you get a few percentage of a raise. Your wages is a little bit more, which then sort of evens out, because then a liter of milk costs a little bit more as well, so it's sort of, you go hand in hand with the cost and the wages. Does it work the same way in Kenya?
No, absolutely not. Actually, we are using the government rates, which, like our partner Kengen is a parastatal. They are the biggest employer of the area, and our wages are adapted to what they pay the workers. So that's how it works. Now, that is for the temporary workers, of course. We have 160 something like this permanent employees, and they have a scale. We have within the company a scale. We don't give wages based on I like you, I don't like you. We worked out a scale according to the levels. And if you are a level of officer or manager or whatever, all these have skills again that we have copied together with other companies. But believe me, we are okay as a company in our salaries. That is not a problem. Moreover, now in matters of welfare, we have hired end of last year, begin this year, a lady who is a human resource manager, and that makes a huge difference because that allows a direct communication. She reports to me, so the people are allowed. They have a phone number to call her directly if something is on the side, because you know how it works. Sometimes they are afraid to say something because what is their boss on the side going to say, or things like this. So that works really nicely because we found out things that we were not aware that. So we are really taking care of the workers. The lady today, together with Lawrence, our finance director, and Jan, you know them all, they are all in Nyongoro. They went down. They didn't take the plane because of Corona, so they drove all the way. And they are there. Lydia, the lady, is talking to the workers. Lawrence is seeing in the logistics, and Jan is together with someone looking at the forestry. And that is what we missed, and what the coming time is going to happen a lot.
Excellent. It makes me happy to hear that, that you are learning from and growing from the information that the HR boss is then getting. So that's really, really nice to hear. So I have one final, I think it's an ask of you actually. If there's any message that you have for your clients here in Sweden and in Denmark and in Norway and in the rest of the world, any message from you and or Better Globe Forestry?
Well, I could say different things. First of all, I'm of course immensely grateful that you that nothing has happened due to the corona, meaning that people have continued to trust us and to tell us through their commitment in buying trees that life goes on. Yeah. And then what I would say is, when you look around, you see what is going on with the climate, you see what is going on with a lot of things. The way to go is a greener way. And then it is fantastic that a venture like what we are doing, combined with the enthusiasm of so many people, because there are thousands, very far from here, is making a difference that has a huge social impact for the people here as well. It is very, very important that we continue with this thing. It's very important that we commit ourselves to the long term.